Maboika, Ituno, Ina, Atiaono. Welcome, sisters and brothers. Um, I know and I demand at the sound of my voice that everyone is doing well because I'm having a wonderful experience. Wonderful experience. Learning more each day, and I'm hoping that this research that I'm doing on the energy center that is going to be beneficial to many people. You know what I'm saying? Just give me some feedback. Let me know what you want to hear, what you want to address in terms, Um, just to quickly recap, we spoke about the Star Energy Center, and we talk about that connecting to the source and how dogma and doctrine can sort of like block it, or it cast a shadow that if you get too invested in dogma and doctrine, then you don't think about connecting to the source, which is the sun and the electromagnetic spectrum and how it affects our lives, the electricity in our body, how it powers our heart and our organs and, our just living conditions. So this energy center called the star, it focuses on that. You know what I'm saying? So we take our awareness, which is our conscious and awareness, that ball of energy, and we put it in that, we focus that on that particular energy center. And therefore we're able to connect to the source. And then from when you connect to that sun, and then of course you connect to the multiverse. So we went over that. We're going to go more in depth as we go. We're going down, and as we go back up, we're going to find out we're going to go more in depth, This is a continual conversation. You know what I'm saying? And then we spoke about the crown, where the cosmic energy is at, and how that 1,000 petal is like a dish, right? And you look at a satellite dish in the middle, it has a magnet. It takes in the magnetic forces, the electromagnetic forces through that crown, that soft spot that we had as a child, and also that we still have a little bit of a soft spot there, and that's taking in electromagnetic energies. You know what I'm saying? And that deals with the cosmic energy, and that could be blocked by the ego, or what I say, it could be cast a shadow self. Because remember, we make we distinguish between the shadow self and the light self, and then in the middle is the enlightened self. And we're going to speak a little bit on that. You know what I'm saying? But I would like to make a separate podcast and really, really really go in and harness that particular concept about the enlightened self. You know what I'm saying? By researching and using the enlightened ones' experiences and what they taught and examples. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, the Crown Energy Center, which is the cosmic energy, which is the harnessing and that light of that casts a shadow of ego attachment, and how we have to put that in check. You know what I'm saying? We spoke about the shadow self not being, it's only called a shadow self because it is a shade of what the light is. You know what I'm saying? Sort of like when you have a light and it casts a shadow, like the moon. That's that moon energy. They call it the shadow self because it's the moon energy. Then in the brow area, we spoke about the illusions, and where that comes from, and how certain organizations deal with illusions, and how that you can harness certain powers by illusions. And again, it's a shadow part, those illusions, and it's cast by when you put when your energy at that brow is casting a shadow. The moon, you have the sun energy, and then you have what they call the moon energy, and that's when they deal with illusions, and that's in the brow area. Well, we can go more in depth in that when we go back up. But now let's talk about the throat area, which is the resonance. You know what I'm saying? Previous, we spoke about how harnessing the voice, you know what I'm saying, and how that can give you power, you know, because the reciprocal of that is the solar plexus, and willpower is harnessed there and also harnessed at that throat area. But it also deals with communication as a whole. So it's not what you say, it's how you resonate. And sometimes you can resonate in silence. And sometimes you can resonate in writing. You know what I'm saying? So it deals with much more than just the voice. You know what I'm saying? It deals with how your body resonate. And let me go over something here. So that particular energy center, like is represented again by resonance. Um, the process of that, and I like to go one by one when I'm doing the Kemetic spiritual system, called the Lord of Time. And why does the Lord of Time, what they call Tahuti, or that overseer of time, deals with this resonance? And that again, because time is the relationship between matter and space. It's the ager, it's the measurer, you know what I'm saying? Through time is a constant thing, is eternal. And it deals with what space is a container, and then the matter in the space, but the relationship that this matter or atoms of matter or particles have with this vacuum is known as space, that relationship. So relationship, when you relate, it resonates. You know what I'm saying? It resonates to everything around you. That's how relationship is very important, because it can resonate your spirit, which is your character, personality, your attitudes, everything around you resonate of how you relate to others, right? And relationship. And through time, it can either strengthen or it can weaken. So when we speak about resonating, we're speaking about time being also a measurement, mathematical measurement, you know, and math is a language, resonates throughout, is the language of the cosmos, mathematics, the language of the cosmos. You know what I'm saying? Engineers study this. So, so time is very important to how you resonate. There's a time, a season for for different entity to resonate. You know what I'm saying? There's a time to speak, a time to be silent. There's a time, yeah, so that's when it speaks about resonating, you know what I'm saying, that relationship that you have and being aware of that. And when they talk about being a scribe of the gods in Kemetic science, well, the God, the multiple of gods, right? You're looking at multiple of supernatural gods, or you're looking at the multiverse. So when you become a scribe, right, you become a recorder, which is through time. You're resonating. You become a recorder, and that's resonating. In other words, you're taking in this resonance and you're recording this particular resonance, and that's when you become a scribe. You know what I'm saying? And that's when you're doing your spiritual work and you write down in your journal, you resonate, you know what I'm saying? And so you're becoming a scribe to all those forces, you know? You're learning magic because as you're learning, and then when you get into learning illusions, the process of learning illusion is also to be aware of how certain elements and certain techniques and elements and thought and how that resonates. That helps you in learning magic because you see how the particular items, you see how the particular element, so you see how the organism, how it resonates. And so you study that, you're learning about that. And that's you're learning about is resonance. Again, speech, writing, and measurement, all of that is all about resonating. And I'm going to look up the word resonate in a few minutes, in a few seconds. So, this is the purpose, the process, will, expression, and choice. Choice, because in order for you to resonate us, and you have to make a choice as to what you want to resonate. That's why it's so important in this area of of that energy center when you shine light on it. You know what I'm saying? How it's important to resonate a fullness, the whole picture. Because if you cast a shadow of lies, and lies is fragmented, what we call falsehood is pieces fragmented. But when you a shattered glass, but when you put it all together, it starts resonating a true form. You know what I'm saying? So that's when it speaks about the will too, because again, you resonate the will that your solar plexus resonate, and then you learn how to harness it in your throat, and resonate that. Expression comes from here. You know what I'm saying? And again, like I said, choice. You know, uh, so you know the process, the purpose to putting your energy, your consciousness, your awareness into this particular energy center called the throat energy. The purpose of it is so that you can speak your truth. You know what I'm saying? Because when you put your energy in there, you start resonating, and you start seeing how things resonate, and you start determining what's truth and what's falsehood. You make a choice of want to see the whole picture, or you want to just be complicit and see the fragmented. You know what I'm saying? And so it takes work. It takes work. It takes work into doing research. It takes work into critical thinking. It takes work in paradoxical thinking. It takes work. You know what I'm saying? In order to learn about this resonate, and learning what truth you want to resonate in. You know what I'm saying? Here it helps you make healthy. It helps you make healthy choices. Again, resonating choices and healthy choices. So when you're looking at the full picture, and you analyzing the fragmented, and you starting to put the pieces perfectly together, right? Then it makes you make healthy choices, and you see how this resonates with all of your other energy centers, and how it's important. It's a step. Each one of these centers, remember, are steps, like to a ladder. Um, and you also start accepting your consequences. You know what I'm saying? You start, you know, as you resonate and you make the choice of what you want to resonate, you also have to accept your consequences on what that means. And you can go further. You know what that means. You're trusting in your greater good. You know what I'm saying? That part of you that's beneficial to everything around you, and beneficial even to yourself, into these energy centers. You're learning of how you're making choices between lies and truth, right? But here's the thing. Remember, we said the shadow is just called a shadow because that's the moon energy. And moon energy is very a part of this natural experiences, and part of this natural world we live in, natural nature, this moon energy. So, you have sometimes what they call, um, like for example, what they call white lie. You know what I'm saying? People might say something that's not totally all true, because other people cannot handle the real truth. Because if they can't handle the truth. They don't know how to deal with it because they haven't faced the other part of their shadow. Like their shame, their guilt. Here, so facing your lies is very important in this energy center. But some people cannot face their lies. Some people cannot face their truth. So therefore, something in pieces have to be given to them in order for them. And if in within themselves, if they are true to themselves, you know what I'm saying, and they want to progress. They want to harness energy in these energy centers. They want to get it enlightened. Then they're gonna, deal with these fragmenteds and learn how to put those pieces together, and then therefore accepting their truth. Acceptance is here at this energy center. This is how you accept it. So this is how you resonate either that acceptance or that denial. You can either accept it or deny it. Now, when they speak about the enlightened self, in this, the balancement of this is you connect to your creator. You can not. I mean, you speak your creativity. That's how you resonate. And we're going to do another podcast when we talk about creativity and how to harness this power of creativity. Very important. As a musician, I'm very, musicians do this, artists, the creativity of how to harness some type of creativity. Some people just don't know where to start. You know what I'm saying? And this is what it means, taking it step by step, pieces by pieces, the practice, so we're going to speak about that in another podcast. But right now, with this resonance, let's look up the word resonance so people know what we're actually speaking about when we speak about resonance. I want to just be clear on a lot of things. I don't want to take anything for granted. So I'm going to just do that right here live and look up the word resonance. And so, coming up. Resonance, the quality in a sound of being deep, full, vibrating. You know what I'm saying? In terms of physics, it's the reinforcement or the prolongation of sound by reflecting from a surface or by synchronous vibration of a neighboring object. So here, communication. So a lot of times when you resonate, you deals a lot not only with speech but also by hearing. Remember we spoke about the auditory cortex and how some people that have a damage to that and they can't, the speech, the people that can't hear, or what they call deaf, and they can't hear because of some damage or some uncomfortable situation with audio cortex. It's hard for them to actually speak clearly. You know what I'm saying? They might have to lean to other means of expressing themselves, and that's through sign language. So they resonate through different sign language, but they unable to resonate in terms of sound. And you listen to their speech pattern and you see how they pronounce their words, because it's not as if somebody who had an a full functioning audio cortex, a full functioning hearing mechanism where resonance has a lot to do with that, that relationship, between what you hear and how you receive and reflect that back. You know what I'm saying? So that deals a lot with resonance. What is a simple definition of resonance? And that is the quality or state of being resonant, right? Which is a vibration of a large amplitude in a mechanical or electrical system caused by a relatively small periodic stimuli of the same and nearly the same period as the natural vibration period of the system. So we're talking about resonating, we're talking about vibration, frequency, we're talking about waves. And again, this comes from the source, which is the sun. This electrical magnetism harnesses here at the throat energy center and create a resonance. This is what your resonance, your amplitude, either in sound or your expression or your will, how you resonate. I hope that should be clear enough, right? Very, very clear. So where I wanted to go with this, I was having some thoughts earlier Let's see if I can remember those thoughts. So as far as one thing I wanted to say that as we go down into the other energy center, right? Next we'll speak about the heart, and as I go down into the energy center, when I get to the earth and I start going back up, we're going to speak totally on music, the art of music, instrumentation, and how that relates to your energy center. Very, very important. And that, I speak very heavily on that and I lean more on that because as being a musician for so many years and studying, at NYU, I wanted to be an acoustical engineer. So I studied a lot about vibrations and different amplitude vibration, even studied um, one thing that's interesting is that a lot of things that I hear, I visualize it also in symbols. Many things that I hear, I find myself doing that, and I don't know. I heard it's because certain part of my brains are connected with each other in terms of the sight and also the seeing and the hearing. How that's all kind of like meshed and connected. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's very important. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I mean, it's just the way I am. You know what I'm saying? I can listen to, and I had that ability when I was young. I used to listen to music, and then I used to, I don't know, symbols used to come at me. A visual picture, an optical picture used to like I used to view that at the same time I was listening to this music. It was Stevie Wonder or it was any type of music, even fusion. So I don't know. This something, and I I thought everybody was the same way. I thought everybody was the same. Well, maybe that's just a inner skill ability that I was born with. You know what I'm saying? And I try not to take it for granted. But that's very important. You know what I'm saying? It deals community symbol also deals with communication. You know what I'm saying? Communication. And one thing I wanted to say also that silence also resonates. You know, in music you have melody, and you're like a melody. You got your own melody, right? Yourself, your melodic resonance that you have, and then the harmony is the multiverse. You know what I'm saying? You can harmonize and be in tune with many other beings or your environment, you're in tune. And then, each one of those notes in harmony, also there's a rest in those notes. You know what I'm saying? In those notes, the rest, now if it doesn't have any time signature to it, doesn't have any time to it, then it become chaotic, it become mesh and what they call formless. And that's when he speaks about how, for instance, Tahuti brought the formless into form, and we have the ability to create something that's chaotic and bring it into form. Because when we bring it into form, we resonate, and that's done right here. You resonate, you bring it into form, and then you communicate that formless. That sometimes people get all these ideas, whatever, don't know how to put it into form. That's a skill. That's an ability. Put it into form. You know, you do that through magic. You do that to resonate. You do that to communication. So that's when it speaks about that power, of taking the fragmented, because everything becomes again a lie, a falsehood, or chaotic. What they call chaotic, which it's a bad. I think it's just a bad term that they use for false and lies. But it's part of human, it's part of natural nature, this formless energy. And then taking that formless energy, resonating that energy, it's bringing that formless into form. So it deals a lot with time. Time does that. Measurement also does that. You have something that chaotic until you start measuring and putting into some type of cosmic order, what they call mat. So everything started ifut. and then you bring it into Ma'at. You know what I'm saying? You have that power to do that. You know, that's the power that we have, and we have to harness of how to bring that formless energy, resonate, bring into a reality and resonate it and communicate it. You know what I'm saying? Communicate. That's a natural experience that we have, you know, as beings, you know, naturally, you know, and it deals a lot with the optic, with the observant. Remember how particles are out here is really chaotic, or how it doesn't have form until it's observed. Once the observed by an observant, then it becomes what that observant, the resonating of it, communication, the resonating of it puts it into a form. And that's going deep. And that's when I want to segue into, again, the enlightened self and the void, what we call the vacuum in space. You know what I'm saying? So you have a light that casts a shadow. You know what I'm saying? And the shadow is part of that light. And then the light is part of that shadow. It's you know, it's again, you're overcoming that duality. So it's there. In the enlightenment self, right? In that middle core, that light, that part that you want to enlighten, it deals a lot with darkness. And not really darkness, I would say it deals a lot with vacuum or voidness, space. Like they say, matter is 99.9% space. So it deals a lot with space, you know, which is a vacuum that there is still present. It facilitates the movement of particles. So there's still particle neutrinos moving, but it's creating a space. And what happens in that space is when these particles, when it's observed and it is being, there's a resonance in there because the observant is providing a resonance, a will for that to what? Interact and have a relationship, and then time takes over, right? With this particle, which is the matter, the smallest particles are matter in the smallest form, right? And so when that starts collaborating and it starts having a relationship, and then you have a sum of a thing, you know what I'm saying? And it starts being taking a form, creative. So it's chaotic, it's in vacuum, it's moving, it has no direction, it's eternal, it's affinity, and it's powerful. But then comes an observant. Then comes the formation of that particle, either whether it be light or whether it be sound, which is also light. You know what I'm saying? No difference. It's just a matter of perspective. And when that happens, you have magic, you have creativity is a magical, your personal power. So it starts forming, and you say, or it starts appearing, but it always was there. It wasn't a formless form, but then it starts becoming formed because of a resonance, and that's the power that we have when we use our communication skill, our will, our expression. We take this formless form that exists around us in space, this vacuum, and we start creating either a situation, a metaphysical situation, or physical situation. We start creating, expressing something. And sometimes if you're an artist, you start taking these colors, which has no form, and you start putting it into a form. If you're a musician, you start taking these tones and you start putting into a form, and you start using space, the rest. You start using the time signature, you start using, that's all about creativity. And all of that happens in the enlightenment self. So enlightened beings are either artists, you see them expressing, writers, artists, musicians. It's good to you write your journal, do some writing, you know, get involved in expressing that will and expressing yourself and start harnessing that energy. But of course, a lot of it is gonna also gonna be affected by your other energy center. Remember, it's gonna be affected by your other energy center. you know, so that's for all of the energy of how you're able to take that which is formless and make form, create a communication through communication, and through you have to choices. You have to choose which of these fragments I want to consider into my creation. It's like cooking. You have all these elements here, these ingredients. Which of these ingredients I want to cook to make my pot? You know what I'm saying? To make my dish. So this is where it happens. Which one I want to resonate with. So all of that happens at this energy center. You know, so that's very, very important. So there is this this chaotic, formless, this unordered. And the way we resonate is that we choose what particular ingredients we want to create our enlightened being. You know what I'm saying? Some people choose the venue of music to do that. Some people choose the venue of art. Some people choose the venue of writing. Some people choose sages choose the very nature of being, the very nature of being we want to speak about. Buddha, even the story of Jesus Christ, of Yeshua, right? Yahawashah, right? Or Yeshua, Yashu, you know, the story of certain gurus, Krishna, all enlightened beings has taken that enlightened self and expressed their will, the expression, and made certain choices that they needed to express themselves. You know, so um, so a lot. So again, remember, I gargle. That's good. The gargle with seesaw. Get all this stuff out. I gotta stop eating bread. Again, if I want to resonate within my body a healthy vibe, a frequency. I want to resonate that. I have to watch what I take into my body. You know what I'm saying? So that I can strengthen those energy centers. That's why, it's very important. Yeah. On the next podcast, we'll speak about the heart energy center, which is the axis, which is a very powerful one because the light emanates from there. You can take in your energy center, your awareness, and put it in this heart energy center and the one from the lower, and it resonate very strongly. And we'll speak about that. You know what I'm saying? And again, like I said, some people choose different venues. I have chosen music once, and I still do sound. Some people choose art, visual art. Some people choose spoken art. Some people choose the art of being. The enlightened self, so that they can become a what they call a vehicle of expression and will for to resonate upon their experiences on this earth. You know. So I mean, there's few more things that we could have spoken about. I can't think of it right now, but I'm ready to end the podcast. I got to attend to my granddaughter. My son is watching her. But I hope that this has been a little, I demand that this be educational, not only educational, inspiring, and more than inspiring, that this beneficial. You know what I'm saying? I'm studying to be a coach. I'm studying blockchain technology because I want to get into coaching. And not only coaching, because I want to not only express myself through sound, you know what I'm saying? And maybe one day I'll start expressing myself through art, through painting, with colors. But important to express myself into my beings, my enlightened beings, because that's what I resonate. You know what I'm saying? As a young, as 18 years, I know even younger, I can remember. I wanted to resonate, my being and be a an enlightened being. Not be, just be an enlightened being, a natural state. We all are naturally, we are enlightened beings. It's just that, we've been taking out of our taking out of ourselves, you know what I'm saying, and shown, by amplifying the shadow self, what they did was to fragmentize, split up these energy centers, fragmentizing, you know what I'm saying? They did it with dogma and doctrine. That could be done. Amplifying dogma and doctrine, keep you from connecting to the source, the sun. They did it with the ego, amplify the ego. You know what I'm saying? Because it's natural to have self-confidence. It's natural to have self-esteem. You need that, but it's to put it in check, not to overdo it. So they amplified it. You know what I'm saying? They did it with illusions, of course. Certain companies in music and certain Hollywood, you know what I'm saying? Certain illusions, so even in the art industry, like with Picasso, the fragmentation of colors. And that's the personal magic that they were invested in. There's people that work the shadow, you know what I'm saying, to fragmentize, because that's their culture, that's the civilization. They also use lies, again, amplify the pieces and not the whole reality. You know what I'm saying? Just a piece of it. So they separated, they disconnected us. And we have to get back into connecting ourselves. You know what I'm saying? That's a big change in life. That's a big transformation that we need to do. We have to roll, our brains have to roll that awareness by using the navigation of the cosmos, the constellations, the Milky Way or constellations, by rolling this energy that it's aligned, you know what I'm saying? So that we can birth ideas within this called black hole. I was studying about the black hole, how there's information inside of the black hole, and it's learning how to extract that. But our body, again, we spoke about that void. You know what I'm saying? I know this millionaire that when he before going to the neighborhood, set up a business, he would sit in that neighborhood and he would concentrate to see what void is in that particular community. What void can I fill? That everyone needs something. So I want to fill that void in that community. So he came up and put up a Blockbuster. At that time, they had the Blockbuster. And then were very successful, at that time before they went down. But were very successful with the people that wanted to rent movies in that area. You know what I'm saying? And he did that. He performed a Blockbuster. Another guy that I knew used to seeing the absence of people was traveling just to get their clothing washed. He puts up a washing machine store. So finding the void and then creating something with it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what the dung beetle does when it creates this ball of stuff that it collects, creates this ball, and then it interjects, itself in there, and next thing you know, it births other beetles, eggs and stuff. Creativity is done in that. And remember, they follow the Milky Way. They're in a straight line. Their world is done. So they're in tune with their natural self. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, us in terms of using the energy center and how to birth creativity. resonate, and make a choice of what you want to resonate, and then you have to grab the ingredients from what from that void, that formless void, that 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 vacuum, and extract that information, extract what you want from that chaotic or that effort, and create an order into something, birth and order, birth and mind, you know. So that's all I wanted to go into in terms of the throat energy center, where will expression, and your choice, and how that relates to us as a natural, you know, natural nature, natural experience. Okay, so I'm having a wonderful experience. I'm having a wonderful natural experience. You know what I'm saying? And I um I demand that the motive, I demand, I focus that upon hearing these podcasts, hearing this communication will resonance, that you are also having a wonderful experience, that you're beginning to analyze. You're beginning to see things for what it is. You're shining your awareness. Don't be afraid to shine your awareness on certain of these energy centers, which is natural experience. This is natural experience. We have it. But when we strengthen this natural experience, we become a natural enlightened being. You know what I'm saying? And that's the purpose of this. You know what I'm saying? So I wish everybody, I demand everybody well. I demand everybody wellness. I'm learning how to now demand to resonate with that. Put your word into power. Demand that everyone, upon hearing this, that everyone, I demand that the multiverse work with you in understanding this light being enlightened. You become enlightened beings, and we are all over. We are communicating with each other. We are in enlightenment, so we can benefit the natural beings, essential beings on this planet. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting a little away from humanity because that's a little controversial when you go deep into it. But for those, who resonate with that word, I would say humanity. But now I'm saying now your naturality, your nature self. You know what I'm saying? And part of that nature experiences is willing to communicate and make proper choices, make good choices and healthy choices, healthy choices. So I demand a multiverse, that sun energy, electromagnetic, to harness within us all those help us make those healthy choices. Help us be aware, more conscious, so that we can change our habitual selves, those paradigms, into making those healthy choices to strengthen our habitual self-conscious paradigm. And so I demand that the multiverse does that for us. You know what I'm saying? We are here. We're here. You know what I'm saying? You can't stop us. You can't stop it. You may stop me, but you can't stop. Everyone is waking up. Everyone is awoke. Not waking, everybody's awoke. They see it. It's just a matter of accepting it, of what they want to resonate. It's just a matter of accepting, and what do you want to resonate? How do you want to be seen, observed? Very important. Peace and blessing. I'm out of here.